Greetings my dears, in love and light. Nikki Sutton here. Now today I just wanted to touch on a few points regarding duality and why we need to try to transcend this a little bit while we're making our ascension. Why do we need to transcend stuff anyway? It's all to do with realizations. We're stuck in ways of thinking, perceiving things, ways of perceiving things, which keep us in our paradigm. Now, if we introduce new concepts, we can be like, oh, I didn't realise that. And all of this thought and personality work helps us in our ascension, because it's a mental thing. It's to do with thought and the mind. All is the mind, and the body is generated by the mind, and reality is going on within our consciousness. We're all interacting with the same reality, co-creating together, but it's all in the mind. I have other videos that go into that, but the concept of duality is one that we need to realise and understand, and it's actually not tricky at all once we get into it, because it helps us to understand this reality and the nature of the next as we ascend. Ascension is simply consciousness expanding. It's going up and up. We realise more things, we become more intelligent, we know more, and we're able to contemplate more, realise more, and see more and do more. So naturally consciousness expands and elevates in a way. And that's why the fourth density is the fourth density. The earth is doing it too, and we're moving. Anyway, so duality is when you have like polar opposites of things, like happy or sad, and good and bad. And we can choose to either be one of those things, agree with one of those things. We can judge and go with one of those things, prefer them, have a bias between either or on this spectrum. So duality is like adjectives in our reality that describe things in our reality on a spectrum. So fast and slow, they're opposites. So you think about the opposites. But if you really think about it, they're two sides of the same coin. So fast and slow, it's all about speed, isn't it? I want to be a fast runner, not a slow runner. I want to be a happy person, not a sad person. So you're choosing, you're leaning towards one of these polar opposites. Now you think, okay, that stands to reason, doesn't it? But the reason why we need to transcend that is because everything is about desires, really. Our egos run on desires. And this duality, these polar opposites, they really fuel these desires. Am I rich or poor? Bloody hell. That is going to really impact my self-worth, how good I am as a person if I'm not rich, if I'm poor instead. How about we transcend that duality and just be? Now, that's the point of transcending duality, is to not get tangled up in the duality, the polar opposites, and the degree to which you are one of those, and just be. But this doesn't mean you have to be neutral, empty, or boring. It just means you just are. You're non-judgmental, and this helps you in reality to not get swept up in it, to not get triggered, to not emote in certain situations, because the duality doesn't matter so much for you anymore. You're transcending it. You see everything for what it is. It just is. And if someone is a nice person or a nasty person, you see them for just being a person. They are what they are. And these adjectives about them are traits of theirs, which they'll either work through or not, but they just are. Now, the opposite of duality actually would be oneness. So instead of having these poles, the purge the poles merge to become one. So it's the one, I'm not doing a triangle sign here by the way, it's the one that you are going for. Because all is one. And you probably have got that by now, or you've at least heard that by now. Oneness. So oneness is basically that we are all part of one infinite being. You could call it God if you want. This reality is an energetic, information-based reality that we're all part of and we all interact with. And the atoms in the sofa over there are similar to the atoms in me. It's all atoms, intelligent energy, making up what is. And therefore, creation itself is alive with this intelligent energy, the same intelligent energy that runs through me, through you. And it's the intelligent energy that's focused into a focal point of consciousness that's become self-aware and then more intelligent, that makes an entity, a consciousness, a me and a you. It's the intelligent energy of creation that's focused into a consciousness. But we are still one with the one infinite creation, which is everything. So by transcending duality, we realise this oneness. Now it's the nature of this reality, third density reality, that we will experience duality. Why is that then? Well, it's great for learning. It's great to experience two sides of a coin, because otherwise you wouldn't know what the other is like. So if you were in a happy, wonderful environment where everything is perfect and fluffy bunny rabbits, rainbows and grassy meadows, you wouldn't appreciate that too much if you hadn't experienced a load of crap sometime in your life. So it's the load of crap that you experience in your life that helps you to understand the lovely times when they come along. So beings from other densities, wanderers, light workers, or whatever you want to label them as, come back here to help raise the vibration, but experience also accelerated catalyst here because of the duality here, because of the extremes here, because of the war and the peace, the agreements and the disagreements, and the love and the fear, or the love and the hate. All these polar opposites. Imagine that for learning. You can experience a whole spectrum of really evil and really good. That's amazing, catalyst. And that's why we're here. But the trick is transcending that. That's another thing that we need to learn here. And it's also part of ego work, because it helps us dissolve our ego, is transcending this duality. It's very significant. If we can understand it, recognise it and transcend it, then we're ascending. It's part of our consciousness work. It's part of our inner work as well. We can heal a lot by looking at these polar opposites of things that have happened to us or the situations we've been in, and see it for what it is. See it for just being. Seeing it as being part of the oneness of all things, of the learning and experience that creation is throwing our way for our expansion. So it's not just good and bad. It just is for the purpose of being and experiencing. And that helps you to step outside of duality, understand oneness, and be that point of awareness where you can observe and participate in reality as a point of awareness, a calm one, a balanced one, a nice calm pond that isn't disturbed by stones being thrown in it all the time. Because you're that point of awareness, aware of duality. So it's there's another point that I often think, well, okay, there's duality. Let's say there's good and evil, and I choose to be good. I don't want to just be somewhere in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle of the spectrum, just neutral, a bystander. If there's horrible things happening in the world, I don't want to stand by and not care. And I discussed this with friends. But the point is being aware of that duality and choosing to what extent you're on that spectrum. Okay, I choose to be good. I choose to be service to others. But the other point is that the middle point isn't necessarily neutrality or apathy or not caring or nothing. There is no middle point. It's all integration. So there's no middle point on that spectrum of, say, good and evil. It's all one. And as in the law of one, the raw material, it says that creation began with a thought, and that thought was love. So the oneness isn't nothingness, emptiness, neutrality, boringness. It's love. And that's an unconditional love. And all else is distortion. And the negativity that springs from it is distortion. So when you're transcending duality, you're not becoming nothingness, boringness, emptiness. You're becoming true love. Not romantic love, but unconditional love for everyone and everything. I'll have a video on that. That's what you're becoming. Becoming love is transcending duality. So it helps you as well to transcend being judgmental, because, as I said, things just are, and you don't need to worry about the polar opposites. Those polar opposites contribute to those desires in your ego which can eat away at you if you don't get what you want. And once you have what you want, something else always presents itself that you want. So how do we fight the darkness? Well, we don't fight the darkness, because if you fight darkness with negativity, negativity with negativity, it makes more negativity, doesn't it? So you transcend that by knowing that all is one. So God won't hate the darkness, because God would hurt himself by doing so. So don't you hate the darkness because you hurt yourself by doing so, and you add to it. You become that true point of unconditional love for everyone and everything in a space of oneness where all is one, and the darkness dissolves because you shine that light of oneness, opposite of duality, oneness on the darkness. It lightens up, like turning on a light in a dark room. So that's been some help with duality today. What is duality? Understanding it, and how to use that understanding to help you to ascend. It's all consciousness work and inner work. So I hope you found that helpful today. So comment in the comments section and help each other to get more of a grip on it if you wish. So don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and that bell button too for notifications, because you're raising the mass vibration together. Oh, and by the way, another good way to raise the mass vibration together is to visit globalunitymeditation.com for a global mass meditation every Sunday, because we're uploading good vibes to the mass consciousness. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching.